Large problems are beginning to arise with silver. Here's a clue as to where these problems are mainly centered. I'll explain as we look around. Isn't it all about the money? For sure. The world turns around because of money. But what is money really? This is the real question because price is talked about and thought about so much when it comes to silver that we forget that silver is money in and of itself. Even though it's not active money and doesn't get used as money, it does have some of the same qualities as money, with the ability to store value being one of the most important over time. That's how we should see silver. But keep in mind that that has to do with cost. That is, the price you pay for silver when you buy it and when you sell it. As of late, this rise has turned that market upside down. Since silver prices have dropped over the last 2 trading sessions, a lot of people have rushed to buy it, which is good news. Yes, it is. Dealers like Summit Metals have silver in stock, but they're probably being hurt by this because they're so busy. That's what I've seen other dealer websites say. Please be patient with us as we take a lot of orders. We are once again seeing unprecedented demand. Of course, what does that lead to? The costs go up. I'm going to spell that out for you. Check out Summit Metals when you're shopping around to see what they have in stock and to see for yourself how great their customer service is and how fast they ship. It has to do with buying and selling. With this new move to the upside and a small pullback, you can see equal parts of it. Someone had even said that they had sold almost all of their stack. We might talk about some of that in a different film too. Having said that, I still believe in a long-term keeping physical. That being said, I want to warn you about what's going on with these rising rates. We're beginning to see that again. We've been here before. That was back during the first silver squeeze movement when a lot of people bought silver to try to corner the real bullion market all at once. When you buy bullion like 99.99 silver, the fees are going up even though the prices are going down. This means that when you buy silver, you're not really saving that much. They are finding that they don't have as much silver in stock. Because of this, they raise their prices. It's just how the market works. And we saw that happen in 2021 and 2022 during the first silver squeeze wave. And the price is beginning to rise again. When coin shops and traders had too much silver, especially constitutional silver, there was more selling after a time when people weren't buying as much. Because of this, a lot of that silver isn't going to processors because they won't take it. Because of this, they are now facing a different issue. That problem is all about what is and isn't possible. There still seems to be a lot of constitutional silver for sale, and the price is still very close to spot. That's why we should probably be focused on that, right? Silver for the Constitution. It is not being changed by the higher rates at this time. That seems like the right thing to do. Right now, buy this. We have to be flexible as silver stackers, and if their prices keep going up, we might need to do a little less of this stuff. You know, coins that people want a lot, like the American Silver Eagle, are likely to be hit the hardest. To put it another way, you'll probably have to pay more for these. And that coin hasn't been affected as much by the price increase as other silver has been. Other silver has been sent to mills or maybe even turned down by some coin shops in the area. Silver isn't all the same, you see? Not at all. As you can see, I learned this hard lesson the hard way by watching these markets and talking to some sellers out there. Because of this, we need to be flexible with the business. If you have a lot of constitutional silver and wanted to sell it during this bull run but couldn't because they weren't buying anymore, that silver is now useless to you. So that's why I think you should mix up your stacking approach and your ability to sell or not. For lack of a better word, I believe we should never sell because we need or want to. That isn't always true, though. Of course, there are times when we will need cash quickly. Cold, hard cash is the thing that can be used right away. I think it's a good idea to save some of that money for situations or unexpected costs that might come up so that you can lessen the impact on your silver stack. That's what it's about. But these rates are going up. Before you buy any silver from any company, even the channel sponsor, I want to warn you to do your homework. Look around and see if now is a good time to buy. Things will work out in the end, and you'll be able to choose what kind of silver to buy based on the prices. So just be careful out there and be quick on your feet with the markets. For the same reason that the market did in 2021 and 2022, I don't think you should buy if the prices of some silver goods keep going up. But now there's a change, like a pendulum moving back the other way, and people are buying in a panic. Also, I think it's a good idea to buy. You should think about the fees you pay, though. Is it really worth it? There are times when you should buy. There are times when you shouldn't buy. I also think you should look at constitutional silver if you want to buy. I think that's a good way to go about it. You could also look for privately produced silver bullion with a lower premium, or try to find the best deals on the US dollar and other sovereign coins. By the way, sovereign-made coins are the most liquid type of money, even more so than bars. The same thing is being taught to us. You should have a few different options, though, because the market will change again at some point, and rates will go back down. Prices will likely stay the same or go up a little over the next few years. I think that's pretty much a safe bet. Some people will disagree with me, but I think we're done with $20 in silver at this point. Still, I think that once things get back to normal and the economy and geopolitical worries are no longer a problem, silver prices will likely reach a new, higher level of support than they have in past bull runs. But keep in mind that the latest high point of the price of silver was $54.50 an ounce. And that is still a lot less than the last time there was a bull run on silver and the price reached almost $50 an ounce. That was in 2011. When prices are taken into account for inflation, that amount would be $53. That is $73 an ounce. We're still a long way from that. Silver still has a lot of room to move, in my opinion. A lot of experts think it will go up in the next year. One of those people who thinks silver prices will reach $50 an ounce again is me. There was a small rise in the price of silver not long ago, and I'm seeing it happen again as I record this video. Just so you know, it's good to buy silver, but you should also keep an eye on the market, buy based on your knowledge, and pay attention to these prices. As I said before, I don't blame the dealers for raising the prices of their products because they may be running low. People are buying them after all. Because of this, their rates have to go up. So, because of what's going on in the world, it might be worth it to pay a little more for silver right now, especially during these drops. Also, silver prices might be able to reach the high point we saw not long ago. It's possible. That's something you need to think about for yourself. But I want to warn you to be careful and not buy because you're scared. In fact, I read part of an email from Summit Metals. People say that you shouldn't buy out of fear, but because you know what's best. That is really important to do. That's right. You should know what's going on in the markets and have a good grasp of premiums and what you might or might not get back when you sell your valuable metal. But keeping is the best way to keep your money safe over time. Just something I want you to know as we move into what I think will be a new phase in the rare metal markets, especially with silver. The way these markets work is changing. At these prices, the fact that people are starting to buy silver again is good news because I still think it has room to go up. But we still need to be careful about how we approach it and how much we understand. To be very careful with you about what's going on, I don't want any stackers to become discouraged if prices drop back to the low 40s or high 30s. And premiums just drop on silver because people give up and think, oh, I've lost $10 to $12 an ounce of silver. I want to warn you, though, that that is a pretty good chance. Silver is more than just its price, whether it goes up to $60 an ounce or back down to $30 an ounce. In the long run, it doesn't matter because the money is outside the system. You only lose when you sell. You should too. I don't think you should ever sell at a loss unless it's necessary and there's an emergency. That's why I tell you to hold on to your dollars so you don't have to sell your silver. I hope this movie was useful, interesting, and educational for you. Thank you so much for watching, and please rate, share, review, and subscribe.